No intro today, folks. We're getting straight into this. I wonder, what will it take for Western video game journalists to at least stop attacking YouTubers and properly review the game or face layoff? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
So I woke up, I feel like every day I wake up, especially the past 3 days, but it feels like every day at this point. There's another spurg out from Alyssa. And again, as I always remind you guys, the epicenter of this drama always starts with Alyssa every single time. And this time is no different. Whereas now we have Alyssa Mercante, after sharing graphs of Hypnotic and 8-Bit Eric with their apparent quote unquote view counts with whatever tool she's using, that she now decided to wake up today and come at me. This is the person that is currently, let me remind you, suing me.
Now, I had to guess. Didn't she say she's in the middle of a lawsuit? I don't know. According to Legal Mindset, this is from H3H3 videos, okay? He says Ethan Klein can get the lawsuit done in under 100K USD. Smash JT's lawsuit, I pray to God Smash JT will make it. But what about Alyssa Mercante here? Did she? How in God's green earth is she still doing this, knowing full well the lawsuit is still ongoing, and most importantly, she's gonna run out of money? I mean, seriously, Alyssa, can't you keep your mouth shut?
And come at me. This is the person that is currently, let me remind you, suing me for harassing her. She decides to continue to perpetuate this attack against me, trying to prove her point that I'm harassing her. But the point is not proving that I'm harassing her. The point is proving that my channel is actually successful. This means literally nothing, except after 6 or so years, my channel started picking up with attention. And then after 7 years, it started picking up even more, which is fairly typical with how channel growth works. No one just, well, maybe some people just wake up one day and their channel just blows up for some reason. But typically, this is the standard path for most all channels on YouTube.
That is true. It's standard. You have to be lucky for it to go up, okay? I don't know. For the record, I was so lucky when my previous video in this in my first channel got 10K views within 2 months. I was glad, but then right after that, I started to ask, what happened? Why did suddenly viewers started coming to me? I mean, that's what I asked myself. There has to be something. Only when I found out that Marvel Spider-Man, or in this case, Marvel Spider-Man 2, there was a lot of controversy, a lot of backlash around the ending of it. You know how it is. And I think that culminates to the growth of my channel to get myself 10K views. Yes, it may not be much, but hey, it's a start for small channels like me.
Different or like crazy about the channel. And she showed this graph. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, what am I looking at here? And she wrote special delivery with the doozy fingers, whatever. And so Smash JT's view counts. 2018, when I started 2017, 2018, which this graph is completely broken because it's too condensed. So it makes it look like I had no growth from 2017 to 2024 when I had a ton of growth. But the problem is she condensed it to have the bars start at 100, 200, 300, 400, where growth on YouTube is typically exponential as you go. But if you pull the lens back, you would see a consistent stream upward of views with videos as the channel has gone on.
That's true because, yeah, not every day you can expect growth or perhaps even viewers to come to you or perhaps return viewers, okay? Don't forget, these viewers, they're human beings as well, okay? They have jobs to do and you're gonna have to give a content that is worth their time. Don't forget, time is now the currency. They're sacrificing their time and money to watch you. That is, in my opinion, that is our revenue. Also, I didn't start YouTube at least 9 years after I created my channel. My first channel at least, 2012. When I started it, only to start posting my first video on 2021.
I've gotten better at understanding what people want to know about. I've gotten better at connecting with the community and meeting other people and putting all this together. It doesn't, you don't wake up one day and have that all just happen. It takes a lot of time to get to where I am right now. Again,
That is true. Even for me, on my second channel, the one you're watching right now, I'm almost to my first milestone, 500 subs, and then 1K. I know if I plan everything correctly, I will probably get 1K at least before either Thanksgiving or Christmas of this year. Fingers crossed, folks.
people like Alyssa do not understand this, which is why they fail, but still, it is what it is. So she showed this, and I'm like, okay, what does this? She said special delivery, like it's supposed to like be some sort of mic drop moment. I look at this and I'm like, yeah, okay. Gerard the Completionist, 2024 channel got its first major bump. And then I started talking about the N Kotaku campaign, got another bump. Started talking about Jason Schreier, Kotaku in general, other journalists. Alyssa Mercante was one of them. But on top of that, many of my best performing videos are BioWare, talking about the BioWare situations and the falling apart behind the scenes there. Sweet Baby Inc., Obsidian Entertainment with Avowed, and all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes there with the insiders contacting me. Tons of game studio layoffs, EA proper, everything that I've covered in the past year, or at least 6 months or so. And for some reason, she's trying to take credit for that. Like, that's all her? Huh? So what this is, again, Alyssa, lie by omission Mercante, knows that she's being disingenuous with this. So she puts this out there to her moron audience, and for them to lap it up like idiots, to be like, oh yeah, everything you've told us is all he does is make videos about you.
Seriously, to all Western journalists and Western video game journalists, every time you keep on clowning on YouTubers, saying that they don't have any journalistic experience, but when you got laid off, you wanted to do YouTube, guess what? You find it hard to even grow. And even if you have an audience, most of them hate you. It's not the same type of audience that your previous employer has, okay? Not the same. This is YouTube we're talking about. Seriously, what is it going to take to you Western journalists and Western video game journalists as well to at least adapt, do better, and don't attack the readers or the fans, gamers? But we all know the journalists, they won't do it.
Then you showed us this, and that proves it. It's like, no, this is not all videos about her. These are videos about everything. What the hell does this even prove? What even is this? So I wrote, Alyssa, I've asked many times to leave me alone. You continue to attack me, sending your army of left-wing extremists after me on nearly a daily basis. Thanks to you doxing my family, we now live in constant fear. This hatred you spread is disgusting, abhorrent, and downright evil. I followed that up with saying, to address her research, 2024 is when I had enough of the BS from the professional games journalism and shifted my coverage from talking about games specifically, which, by the way, I know a lot of people joke like Smash JT doesn't play games. Guys, I did a YouTube channel strictly talking about video games for 7 years, okay? So yes, I and my channel was going nowhere with that, and I still love talking about that. But I was getting so sick of the direction that the game industry is going that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use my platform to try to change it to the way I want it to be.
Same as me. Look, don't forget, I'm Asian, okay? After what they did with Japan, I feel so disheartened when they, I don't know, censored Tifa's outfit, remove certain jokes that weren't in the original one, or better yet, body type A, body type B. I was disheartened, and I'm so glad that South Korea and China doesn't bend the knee. Yeah, for the graffiti, that is something I cannot do anything about it. It happens. China didn't bend. The woke didn't force the Chinese developers to put gay people or anything because the law forbids them. The Chinese law forbids them. And what they do is simple. Create good game. That's it. It's very simple.
To what gamers want out of their games. How dare me to take a stand, use my platform, and say that? Wild. Specifically talking about the games industry on the whole. Weird. almost as if that's also what people wanted to hear more about. Keep losing, you complete insane psychopath. I will have zero mercy in this lawsuit fallout against you after all you've done to me and my family. And Alyssa, just for emphasis, full camera here, I genuinely mean that. There is going to be hell to pay with this situation. There is going to be zero remorse, zero apologies, zero, oh, I don't want to go too hard on this situation. Nope. With the things you've done to me and my family, none of that's happening here.
Actually, the real question is, what's going to happen if Alyssa McConaughey somehow threatened kids who is a part of the CCP or perhaps the son of Xi Jinping and tried to dox her, which ultimately will backfire because you don't mess with people like the Chinese, or better yet, the Japanese Yakuza. You don't mess with them. You know what? Alyssa McConaughey, I challenge you to go fight the Yakuza. You said you wanted to be tough? Fight the Yakuza or the Chinese triads. Let's see how long you last, comrade.
Anyways, also, reviewing the replies on this post, many of her ilk are excited to see my views go down, which is curious. Are we looking at the same chart? Because it looks fairly steady after such a leap, which again, the leap up here, originally early to mid 2024, and then it stays constant. It didn't drop back down to nothing. It's still up there, which is actually really impressive. I've had a lot of people reach out to me over the past few months, patting me on the back like, damn, bro, you're crushing it. Keep up the great work. Everything you're doing is making a big impact out here. Love your stuff. It's awesome. So glad I ran into you, learned about you, all these other things. Amazing community support. And I'm not just like doing that to pat myself on the back. Like, these are things that have happened. But since we're talking about numbers and views, go ahead and slay with your 1K view videos per month, which is fairly accurate. But she's getting really mad at me, apparently, because my videos were getting over, some of them getting upwards of 400,000 views. And honestly, I look at this chart and I get a little bit frustrated because, I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years. I still don't have a video that has crossed over 500,000 views, which to me is wild.
Congratulations, comrade. Wow, looks like the journalist is having a hard time growing on YouTube because it is not similar to their mainstream media. No more, folks, no more. Many people are sick and tired of Western journalists. Yes, there are some people are activists, okay? Like I said before, I will have sympathy for those people who do honest jobs that will let go, okay? You have my sympathy. However, activists does not have my sympathy. Let me be clear on that. You can get mad at me all you want, but I know activists, if they get laid off, I don't care about them because those activists, they don't care if I got fired or I lose my job. You think they're going to care if my viewers got fired or laid off?
I've had a lot of videos do well. And then when the algorithm decides to just turn it off, it just stops like on a dime. It goes from getting like 30 to 50 to 100,000 views a day to like 8. And I'm not even exaggerating. But such is life with the algorithm. But I continued and I said, here's my 90-day chart for you to stuff up your extremely overly used dead baby Wiimote holder canal Hun. Cope. And
whoa,
this is my views over the past 90 days. So
emotional damage. Nice job, Smash. Congratulations.
just in contrast of what she's trying to show, like a downfall of views, I figured the best way to show is I was going to show the 1 month where it just looks like it's just like my views are spiking. I'm like, no, let me pull it back to show that views go up and down. I don't want to just make it look disingenuous. I want to show the full picture, pull it back to give a full perspective of 90 days, which is basically when I stopped talking about her and just talking about what I want to talk about in the game industry, unless there's something crazy she does that I cover. But for the most part, it's just covering the games industry and transgressions of journalists or companies in the behind the scenes. And outside of the beginning of June, which crushed every creator and forced a lot of creators to rethink how they do things, my channel is basically right back up, if not better than what it was at the beginning of 90 days ago. So I don't know what point she's trying to prove right now. What is this? What is this supposed to say when you actually, because she doesn't have the data. She has a tool that scrapes data to try to prove to everyone that she knows what's going on. I go into my analytics, it shows me the actual stats.
Well, everybody's growth is quite different. Mine is different from either Smash or Will of the Fan or even Hypnotic. And by starting next year, it will be my 5th year on YouTube, even though I've already started decades ago, but it'll be my 5th year when I first published my first video, which I'm praying that I could get monetized at least before Christmas. And my second channel is growing. Thank you so much for coming. Well, unlike Alyssa Macante, there was one time I saw her hiding comments saying that to prevent trolls. For me, I just leave them be. All of you are more than welcome for criticism and constructive criticism, okay? And I'm not like Quantum TV who just removes every criticism, even constructive criticism. So if my calculation is correct, this is, of course, the mainstream media is, in fact, you know what? I think I'm gonna rename this. At first it was actually 400%, but I think I'm gonna have to up a bit. 450% cook, because Smash JT did make a follow-up video, which I'll include that follow-up video in the description, including the one I'm reacting. The question we had to ask ourselves, what will it take for these mainstream media to either, I don't know, adapt, accept the reality, do better, and most importantly, don't attack the readers or the gamers or even YouTubers, okay? It's not working. But we all know Western video game journalists, they won't do it. None of them will. I mean, I'd be shocked they did it, but then yet, we know most of them are activists. What do you expect from activists? They won't do it.
Well done, Griffin. Now we got this airfield secured, we can get a foothold on this island and start pushing the Japanese back. We're through retreating, lad. America's back in this war.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, gaming theories, or you just want to see me play games. Visit my 1st, 3rd, and 4th channel up here or link in the description.